Basically what I'm doing with this thing is, this is what I would do if I had an extra $100,000 just laying around and decided I was going to build a Squarebody. So this is a truck I know you guys haven't seen for a while. This is a truck that I had Scott Limpert build the cab and bed for before the K10 came out. So to bring you up to speed, crew cab, basically made out of two K5s with the short bed, made with an extension and everything. And I actually took the K10 tailgate that I had, that I bought extra, and put it on this so it has a correct pickup truck tailgate as opposed to the K5 tailgate, which are different. And if you know what you're looking at, you can tell that they're different whenever people build the trucks. You do you. I'm just saying this one's correct. So this thing is fully painted in, I believe this is frost white, arctic white, polar white. No, it's not polar white. It's white. I can't remember. Anyway, this thing was painted in the white color. I think it's literally just white. Doesn't even have a real like crazy name. And then I painted turquoise over it. This is all factory GM color. This is a 1974 only color, I'm almost positive. It is on a Sin 450 chassis that I took the body off of and took everything off of and kind of made it all, you know, different or whatever. Shortened the wheelbase a little bit, I believe. And I brazed in a mount to actually put a VFD in this. This is really just going to be a working model, but I wanted it to be able to be drivable. That way, if we were at an event or something and I just was like, hey, we'll just go take the truck out a little bit and just kind of drive it around, get some pretty shots, etc., etc. So that is what I did. Now that you're up to date with it, what you saw was I installed some D44 axles, and then I also put on my new Engin Outbacks. These are my favorite weld wheel by far, period. Now, they're also on Mickey Thompson Baja belted, which is some of my favorite tire because as a kid of the 90s, these things were everywhere. They're fat as they are tall, and that is just how I like my tires. So I put that all together with the D44s. The links aren't really exactly perfect. The front pinion angle's a little crazy, but I got the wheels on. I got a new shipment of wheels from Engin, and these things are freaking killer. They do have the scale hubs in the front. They are a little different. They're not the bolt-in style scale hubs that you would put on other trucks. These are actually something that you get from Engin, and they've got like a little sticker, and they're kind of machined in to look like an actual bolt-on locking hub. The rear has just the normal cap, like it really would if it was 1-to-1. I have done a little bit of paint work to this. There were a few little spots that the tape bleds. I was able to use, I think they were 1200 or 1500 little pads to sand the green off of the white, and then I had a couple little spots where it had some dirt and junk in it anyway, so I went ahead and just kind of scuffed this whole thing down with whatever the ultra fine is pad. I can't remember what it is from 3M. It's 1500, 2000, whatever the hell. It feels like a piece of paper really. And scuffed the whole thing down and got it all kind of flat. And then now it's actually ready for clear, which means after that I can really start putting the trim, and I can paint the trim on, and then I can put all the detail stuff on, and everything will start to kind of come together. It does have the 73-74 grill, which I've already made, and it just kind of sits in the bed. One thing I'm struggling with is the body mounts on this thing. I don't know exactly how I want to do it with the Squarebody in particular. The interior really wants to stay with the body, so I'm thinking maybe some magnets or something on the bottom of the interior, since that's all bolted in, and then you just pull the cab off with everything that way. I think that's probably how I'm going to do it. The bed I may actually hard mount through the two holes that are back here. We'll figure that out. I'm not real sure right now. I'm winging it right now. All I know is that I'm trying to do this as nice as possible, and it seems to be working. I don't know. I'm doing nice things. So that's an update on the Squarebody, and then now we will move to a different truck that I am also going to update. Here we go. I actually got this from a guy named Chad Harvey. He prints bodies and sells them, and then he actually just built this truck kind of to promote him printing bodies, as far as what I can understand. He said I really knew where this needed to live and knew that it would get a good home, so he came to me. we worked out a deal and I brought it home from Beat the Creek. As soon as I got it home, basically, I took the wagon wheels and the Pro Baja Pro X's off of it because I'm not a fan of that whole look. I wanted something a little different for this. I wanted a little more showy shelf queen for this. I don't believe he has run it, so that was pretty nice. It's not all like beat to death or anything and doesn't have a whole lot of scratches on it. So I took the wheels off of another truck that I got and I put them on here with the RC 4-wheel drive BFG MTs, and the whole look is just really nice. It's a nice wide fat tire with a nice wide wheel. However, the one thing I didn't really like was long term, this thing is an actual beadlock, and it just, you know, it just kind of looked a little, it looked okay, but it didn't look how I wanted it to look. Now, eventually this will get a whole complete refresh, but I'm just not there yet. I don't want to tear it apart and have one more truck that's not together up on my shelf. That just seems silly. So right now it's together and it's just staying like this. I don't know if the yellow will stay after getting the 1986 Dodge color chips. I think I have a color picked out and it's not going to be yellow, and it should be pretty freaking sick. So keep on watching for that because that'll be coming soon. So back to today's video. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to install my new K44 axles from RC 4-wheel drive. Right now this is based off of a Yoda 3, and so it has the Yoda axles, and if anybody is as particular as I am, you know that those don't belong under a 80s Dodge. That is just, it just doesn't fit. I don't like it. I got these. I'm going to put them on under there. What I'm also going to install is my new Engin Super Singles that have the same tires that are on it now, the RC 4-wheel drive BFG MTs. So I mounted these up the other day, and I am going to install them on the Dodge after I put the axles under it and give this thing its own set of super sick weld replicas and Engin wheels. So I want to do that real fast before it becomes 157 degrees out here in the garage. And then I will come back once I'm done and show you the finished product. But we're going to do a time lapse as we go, so here we go. we'll make this quick so that my phone doesn't die and I don't die of heat exhaustion. Everything went fine. The scale leaf springs that I used are a little bit shorter than the regular leaves, so I did have to move the mount for the back. I had to switch it. It's basically like a triangle like this. It was going this way, shoving the springs forward, but I flipped it around, shoved the springs back, and the rear actually seems to be in its spot. The front is okay, and I'm going to leave it for right now. It has the same scale springs, but it did the same thing where the spring is a little bit shorter and it pulled the wheels back just a touch. It's noticeable if you really look at it, but if the wheels are turned, you're never going to notice. Speaking of turning the wheels, I do not have a tie rod for this thing, so the front wheels just do whatever the hell they want to right now, which is fine, because if they point together or point to one side, then it won't roll. Did put the K44s back under the truck. No problems whatsoever. Everything bolted right back in and all of it went to plan. The front I did end up putting in as the 2 bolts through the top of the leaf spring into the actual axle. The rear I did use the U-bolts. It looks a little better, but the front just would not sit down. I couldn't get the U-bolts in. I'm not sure if the axle is a little bit thicker. I know the springs are a little bit thicker, so they wouldn't get all the way down into the I know the springs are a little bit thicker so that it wouldn't get down to the locking nylon on the nut, so I couldn't use them there. As far as the wheels go, I did install the Weled Super Single replicas from Engin. It does have the caps in the back, has the locking things in the front. I could not ask for more of these wheels. They are so nice. If you do get a chance to get any of Engin's wheels, I highly suggest it. One thing I would also suggest is go in with one of your friends or 2 of your friends, or you need to buy a couple at a time, because shipping is outrageous from Turkey to the US. That has nothing to do with him. It's literally just how it is to get things here. So I bought 4 sets at a time just to make it worth my shipping time to come back, because one way from Turkey to Indiana here, even if I had 1 set of wheels, was still like $70, $75. And that's the slow shipping for like 6 weeks. If you step it up to 3 or 4 days, it goes to like 100 and something, and for 4 wheels was like 132, which is really expensive. I give it, I'm not taking that away. However, it would be like 115 if you just ordered 1 set of wheels. I already wanted this stuff. I put the order in. I told him I wanted these things in like January. So I got them all at once, and now I'm putting them on trucks, and I could not be happier with them. Like I said, shipping is what it is. Just be smart about it, and maybe you can help yourself and your friend save a little bit of money if you guys split it. Whatever you want to do. All right. It's freaking smoking out here. Like I said, it gets hot as hell, and I'm about to melt with all the fans off. So I'm going to turn the fans back on, probably do something else. Maybe I'll head inside. But that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you would, think about becoming a channel member so you can see this a day early. You also get to see things for sale in my members area. Probably like these locked up wheels here in just a little bit. I'll probably end up listing these once I take the hubs and the rotors off and everything. And they'll get the first dibs on that. Then it goes to my Facebook group, which if you're not in, Bullman Built RC Facebook group. Follow me on Instagram. Follow the channel on the page on Facebook. Don't follow me, follow the channel on Facebook. I post things on there as well, and you can always see new videos posted on there, and then that leads you back to YouTube. So I thoroughly appreciate you watching. Make sure to let me know what you think about both crew cabs. I love these things. I am getting more and more into building shelf queens and really, really nice things that will drive, but just kind of look pretty. And then that's all my hard body stuff and things like that. I'm just really into building this really pretty stuff right now. So this will eventually be super duper pretty. I just need to get to it, and I'm doing little things just to kind of bump it up a little bit as we go. So I appreciate you watching. I will see you later. Love you, bye!